Squatters, we're back with another one. Politics, man. There's always something that is happening there, somewhere there in between there. So recently, I was watching Panyaza Lesufi addressing the Alexandra community, and he mentioned 2-3 things that I've noted. Number one, he mentioned that people who left the ANC to MKP and to EFF are actually cowards. They need to come back. They are welcome. Fight from within. I understood what he meant. By the way, I'll get to that. Another thing, mentioning that Wanuz Walus, Chris Hani's assassin, should be brought back to the country. I think he was referring to the recent interview which Wanuz Walus took with the television news ENCA, saying that if he get a chance to do it again, he would actually do it again. I mentioned this many times, Squatters, that why do we actually, as Black South Africans, feel like we are being owed an apology? That's number one. Number two, why do we expect apology to someone who doesn't really think they have wronged us? So these are the issues which are involving racism and other things, hatred amongst each other. So Panyaza Lesufi is someone who happens to be in a wrong political party. He is in a wrong organization. The ANC is no longer representing what actually it used to, or maybe it was pretending then, I don't know. So it is worrisome for comrades like Panyaza Lesufi, because they still have those hopes that ANC will be able to resuscitate itself, ANC will be able to self-correct, to rebuild itself. That thing is dying. Panyaza Lesufi should let that thing die a natural death, and it actually belongs to a dustbin of history. ANC is no longer relevant. ANC is one of the useless so-called liberation movements, and it is no longer serving the interest of Black South Africans, and they've sold it. People like Abu Cyril Ramaphosa have sold the ANC. And by the way, there's no unity there. There's no unity. And I understand the fact that some of these politicians who went to MKP, some to EFF, sneaked back into the ANC. You know why they went back? It's because of hunger. It's because of hunger. It's not a political mission that now these parties are not serving what we actually thought they are serving, so we're going back to the ANC. There's nothing revolution there. There's nothing. I've mentioned before that our politics in South Africa are based on stomach politics, loyalists. We've got people who are loyal to certain people. If you talk about Fikile Mbalula, he is loyal to Cyril Ramaphosa. Whatever Cyril Ramaphosa is telling him to do, he do exactly just that, without questioning, he is actually hoping to be rewarded with maybe deputizing Cyril Ramaphosa for that matter. By the way, we all know that Cyril Ramaphosa is intending actually to put Nchaveni as his deputy, because he doesn't like Paul Mashatile. He will never also put Fikile Mbalula. It doesn't mean when he's a Secretary General, from there he will ascend to deputize Cyril Ramaphosa. It's not going to happen anyway. In a million years, by the way. So, if we talk about the issue of Wanuz Walus, yes, he feels that what he did, there's nothing wrong with what he did. Number one. Number two, for Panyaza Lesufi to stand on a public platform to say Wanuz Walus must be extradited from Poland, to come back to South Africa, to be imprisoned again, it doesn't really make sense. I don't know. That is very insane. You know why? Because the very same government that he represents released that man. Why did they release that man? Did they follow the right procedures to do that? And for the fact that that is his president, actually, who released that man, Wanuz Walus. So for him to come and say, I don't know, maybe he is campaigning using that issue, but now you are causing more damage and more pain to the Hani family. If they are listening to you, you belong to the ANC, the same ANC released Wanuz Walus, and it's very confusing. I think the left hand doesn't know what the right hand is doing there in the ANC. By the way, he's still having hopes, and it's worrisome because now all that energy that he's channeling to the wrong political party. I don't know. South Africans are tired with the ANC, and if Panyaza Lesufi still thinks he can resuscitate this dying political party, it will never wake up. It will never be resuscitated. It will never have that that vibe that it used to have. We don't see ANC as a mirror of ourselves anymore. So I don't know. It's so sad for smart people like Panyaza Lesufi to think that ANC will be able to actually resurrect, because I think it is dead. It's just waiting for the official day when it dies completely, and everybody knows that there's no more ANC, and what is left is for it to be on the opposition benches, and for that to happen, it's over with the ANC. I don't know, it's worrisome. Why does he want to fight from within? Who are you fighting? And what exactly are you trying to achieve? And he also mentioned that people should not say that is the ANC of Ramaphosa. Yes, that is the ANC of Ramaphosa, because Ramaphosa is running the ANC like a family business, like his personal business. He's calling the shots. He doesn't listen to anyone. He does as he pleases. He take other decisions without consulting anyone and all of that. So anyone who acts against him, he victimized them, he chased them out, he revoked their memberships and all of that. So that is some kind of the dictatorship kind of leadership that he's actually doing. But anyway, we are not there in the ANC. We can't really tell them what to do. They must just continue to tear that political party apart. They must just continue to dig the grave for that political party, because where they find themselves in, that is actually for themselves to blame. They've got no one to blame. Even, I can't really put it solely on the current sitting president, Cyril Ramaphosa. Also, the people who came before him, they also did the same. They also have scandals of corruption happening under their nose. They never even bothered to act, and some of them were saying ANC will rule until Jesus Christ comes. Maybe Jesus is here now, because the ANC has lost power, outright majority, and it is dying, and they still continue to commit the same mistakes and hoping for a change. But why do they continue to do the same thing and expecting different results? So it is so sad, man. It is so sad. The party that people had hopes that it will actually liberate black people, fully liberate black people. But anyway, we know, some of us, that they sold out right from the CODESA negotiations. That is why we are sitting here with murderers like Wanuz Walus, and he's out now. He's not feeling sorry, and he still feels entitled. He feels like a hero, by the way. Maybe there they made a ceremony for him for what he did and all of that. Otherwise, we are let down by our fellow black brothers and sisters. I mean, for that man to be released, it's a shame. It's a shame for our country that we are, I don't know, maybe someone can say we must forgive. But what about the Hani family? The family that they are actually victims in this whole thing, and they never found closure. But as I've mentioned before, that it is very tricky because some of the ANC comrades are involved in Comrade Chris Hani's death. They knew he was going to be assassinated, and then this thing will spill the beans, man. It will actually show some skeleton, which I believe South Africa might not really be ready to see. Some of these truths, they will shock you when they come out. So we are that society that really gets shocked so easy. We are conservative. We don't want to welcome new ideas. We don't want to switch. Even the ANC as a political party, people took long to pick up that this party is no longer serving the interests of the people. By the way, if I have to tell you about myself personally, number one, I started to pick up that the ANC is taking a different direction during the Thabo Mbeki era. By the way, 15 years into this democracy, I was fed up, and people were saying, you are crazy, you are just being entitled, you want things to go your way, and all of that. And the same people, the same comrade whom we used to sit down and discuss politics, today they're telling me exactly that, hey, listen, you were right. I mean, this is a rotten ANC which sold out during the CODESA negotiations. They were negotiating for themselves, and we are here where we are now today because of them, and it doesn't look like they are going to fix anything. By the way, they continue to be house Negroes. They continue to take care of the master's house, and us, we continue to be field Negroes there, isolated and fending for ourselves, whatever we can pick up, the crumbs, we're living off the crumbs and all of that. So 15 years into democracy, myself personally, I started to realize that no, this is becoming nonsensical. And by the way, Thabo Mbeki signed certain laws which I didn't really agree with, like privatization. I remember he introduced it, I think it was 2007, 8, somewhere there. I can't really remember, by the way. So he introduced those. No, it was the year 2000, if I recall correctly. So they started to privatize other SOEs and all of that, and it became a problem to me that where is this government going by privatizing things? I mean, why can't the government capacitate itself? Like the CIC Julius Malema always say that the government must have a capacity to do certain things. They must not outsource everything. So that's when I realized that no, the ANC is taking a different direction. By the way, Thabo Mbeki then was the most favorite ANC member, cadre or whatever they called him. So he was glorified. He was too holy for someone like me to be able to criticize. But I didn't really agree with what he did. And then he did that, and we are where we are today because of what he has actually signed back in 2000, somewhere there. Remember, 1999, he became a president, taking over from Tata Mandela, and then from there, I think around about 2000, early 2000, he signed those privatization laws and everything. Everything now started to change. Everything started to be privatized, and that's when he actually taught the comrades how to be corrupt, how to steal government money, how to steal from the public purse and all of that. Because tenders open that funnel for politicians to steal in the name of tenders and everything. So it's so sad. And so people like Panyaza Lesufi should just leave the ANC. I don't know what is it that he will actually do, because he looks energetic, but there's no political party that he can actually join. Politics in South Africa, you've got few opportunities. That's why people like Mzwanele Manyi made it clear that I realized that it was going to take me long in the EFF, so I jumped to the MKP because I'm having hopes that at least it's promising. I quickly want a position and all of that. So even though he didn't say it, blatantly, but you can sense that this is actually his position, that I didn't leave the EFF because I was ill-treated and all of that. He mentioned that he left because he's actually a stomach politician, someone who wants to eat in the name of politics. I don't know, squatters, maybe you'll have a different view, but my take, ANC is dying a natural death, and so Panyaza Lesufi is just wasting his time. Number two, the issue of Wanuz Walus, they must just leave that man because they couldn't do anything when he was still in prison. They actually took the keys and unlocked his cell so that he can leave. And now he left, he's talking crap there wherever he is, and they want him back. Actually, they don't want him back. Panyaza Lesufi wants him back, but the ANC doesn't want him back to the prison because his friend Ramaphosa released him anyway. So it's one of those sad moments that really you happen to ask yourself, we remain curious without answers in this issue. I don't know, squatters, maybe you will have your take, you'll say something different, but I'm just worried that Panyaza Lesufi is just wasting his time, and he continues to preach quite the opposite evangelium towards what the Fikile Mbalulas and the Ramaphosas are discussing actually behind closed doors, because it looks more like they have now sidelined him. He's singing his own tune there, and they don't really discuss anything with him anymore because they don't trust him. I don't know. This is politics. You'll never know. I don't know if Ndozi will skip to the same chaotic political party, ANC, or he will go to the DA because DA likes black people who are educated, to use them through, to attract more black voters and all of that. You'll never know. Politics is politics. You'll never know which direction he will go, or maybe he'll just stick around there in the EFF, which is 10% chances, because you can't resign from being an MP and lower yourself and become a ground force now. It doesn't make sense. Our purpose in life is to grow, it's not to demote ourselves. So it's just one of those moments where you don't really know, where it's going, which side is it gonna go. But maybe we'll see what happens. But the ANC that we see now is a dying ANC, and it's just about time, man. So it's just about time. I don't see them resuscitating this dying political party. 2029 is too far. Yes, I agree, and they can self-correct if they want to. But the posture that we see, it's people who are entitled, who think they are still well within their rights, to run that political party the way they are running it. I don't know, squatters. Maybe you'll say something which will convince me otherwise. I'm open to views. Let's keep on engaging, squatters. Thanks for watching.